Good afternoon. This is the Board of Adjustment, Oklahoma County Board of Adjustment for for September 19th, 2017.
Will you call the roll, please?
Members of the Oklahoma County Board of Adjustment is your name upside down? No. It looks funny from here. Mr. Bill Hogue.
Present.
And Mr. Jack Query.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Okay, thank you very much. We have a quorum present. Proper notice of today's meeting has been given as required by statute, and the Oklahoma County Board of Adjustment is in session. And the first item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of the last meeting, which occurred on August 29th, 2017. Has everyone received a copy? And are there any corrections to the minutes?
I received my copy and read through. I didn't see any corrections needed. I would like a motion to approve as printed.
Okay, Mr. Hogue has moved the minutes of August 29th is submitted to be approved as submitted. I second that motion. Mr. Chairman, will you call the roll, please?
Mr. Hogue.
Yes.
Mr. Query.
Yes. The minutes of August 29th stand approved as submitted. The next item on the agenda is the discussion and possible action for the approval or denial of a special exception SE-2017-01 to the Oklahoma County zoning regulations. Is anyone present that would like to speak on behalf of that application? If you come forward, ma'am, and state your name for the record, please, and tell the board about your application.
My name is Tanisha Guevara. I am the owner of that property. I'm here because my grandfather means the world to me, and I'm trying to do whatever I can to help his last years be happy ones, and he lost a lot this year. And so, while yes, he is living with us, and yes, he could stay in the house with us, after everything he's already lost, he doesn't want to lose his complete, I can't remember the word, he doesn't want to be, he still wants some independence. He doesn't, to him, he feels like a baby having to stay in somebody's house after he's lived on his own for all these years. I do have a letter from the VA in reference to my grandfather Glenn Gardner's health and why that this would be beneficial for him.
Go ahead and read it.
And I also have pictures of that actual property and where, if this is granted, that.
I'm going to ask you, ma'am, if you would describe the area surrounding your property, the general description of the property.
Okay. I mean, as you can see, we live on 1.25 acres. Most of,
5 acres.
I believe it's 1.25. It's close. It's
Okay.
not above that. I know that. Most of the backside of our landscaping is completely wooded, and unusable right now. And so the front runs downhill as well. And so you can, from the road, if you drive down our road, you can barely see our house, much less the roof of our house. So if this trailer were to be put into that property, which is, I have to reiterate, is not a huge trailer. It's not like your normal everyday trailer. It's like half the size of a regular trailer. Most of the people in our neighborhood have workshops bigger than this trailer. The space where we're planning on putting it, I don't know who put it there, but there's a huge area of asphalt right there in that section.
That's in front of your property.
It's to this side of the property, like right where you see that square, that's all asphalted. And I have a picture showing the asphalted area as well.
Residences across, I guess that.
There is a residence diagonally across from me, and we do have He signed this piece of paper right here, the one that's closest to us diagonally crossing, that he had no issues with us putting the trailer there. We were not able to talk to the neighbor that's closest to us to that side because she works nights, I'm told.
Sorry, ma'am, I didn't catch that last part. Would you restate that?
The neighbor that's directly next to us, who this trailer would be closest to, she works nights, so we haven't been able to speak with her. But like between our property line right there, where the trailer would be, well, it's going to be, of course, over 25 foot from her property, but there's also woods covering right there, so you can hardly see through from our house to her house anyway.
Is the mobile home business placed at this time?
No, sir.
Okay. And I noticed in the pictures that were submitted for your application that it appears to be flush with the front of your house. Is that where the proposed site is?
No, we can't put it flush with our house because of the way the landscaping, when the rain drains down, it drains down in front of our garage and goes down beside our house.
Okay.
And so we'd have to put it over on the asphalt area, and I've got pictures that better
Okay, now it's
show that. Oh, I think you have them.
on this diagram. Right here, yes it is.
Yeah, it's about there, but it's a little bit further up.
And you said, you mean, towards your house or back?
Yep. You go like that.
Because the asphalt's right there, and right there where the side of our garage is right there at that corner, and right at that corner there's a drop off. So it just drops down and it's unlevel from there all the way back.
What is in the area directly to the front towards Choctaw Road? Can you describe that area?
Going towards Choctaw Road,
Yeah.
it's basically like our landscape just drops down about 6 feet from right where the 32 is at. It drops down, or the 25 actually. It drops down from there. It's all trees and shrubs and stuff that since we've only just moved in July, we have not had time to do any kind of evening out or anything through there.
Is
So
the
it's,
rear of the trailer proposed area?
yes.
Describe that area. If you move back behind the trailer.
From the back of
Towards
the house.
Choctaw Road or Choctaw Drive?
Back behind your house.
Back behind our house, it's all,
Describe that area.
yeah, back behind the area in the east it's all woods. There's nothing but trees and shrubbery all back there. All the way to the road. We barely have a clear backyard.
On the picture up there, as
Mhm.
you come to the east side where it says 13.4, how much further back could you move that trailer? Or does it drop off?
It drops off right where it
So
says
there's-
25.
Yeah.
It drops off right there a little bit back behind there.
So there's really no way you can move it east at all? without
No,
dropping
not
off?
unless, we could if we got we
Yeah.
very well could if we got landscapers in there to go in there and take out the trees and put dirt in there and fill all that in.
You'd have to refill, that costs a lot of money.
Right.
Is that a draining area or what?
Our septic lines run back behind our house, and then the lateral lines run back in there.
So there's really no way you could move that to the east, towards Choctaw Road?
We could if we got, like I said, if
You'd
if
have to
that's where
haul
we
it.
had to put it, we would get landscapers in there to
That'd
take care of
cost
that
you
and do it.
Much more than what the price of the trailer would cost. Moving dirt gets pretty expensive. Cause they'd have to haul it in. You don't have any that you can move from one spot to another,
Right.
looks like.
Our landscaping is pretty much downhill all the way through, from the front to the back. From the front of our yard is way up there, and then we've got a wall and it drops off, and then it's even right where the house is at, and then it goes downhill again.
Back to the east?
Yes.
Okay.
So from the west to the east, it goes downhill. It starts way uphill in the west and then goes way downhill in the east.
Could you, a little bit about contacting the neighbors? Have you made an effort to contact your neighbors?
We've tried several times with our neighbor next door, but the neighbor that's diagonally across from us, that's over in the bottom left-hand corner, he's the one that we have the signature from saying that he did not mind us doing that at all.
How about the one directly south of you in that area?
That's the one that she works nights, that we're told, from the neighbor that lives across from her. And with me working daytime, we've tried like 3 or 4 times to go over there and haven't been successful.
Well, how about the one directly north of you?
I have spoken with him.
I'm sorry, what you said.
I have spoken with him.
Did he have a problem with it?
He said he didn't have a problem with it as long as the wheels stayed on.
How about the, property to the, I guess it's maybe the northwest there?
We have not spoken with him, sir.
You have not?
No.
I'd like to ask Tyler, Tyler, were all those people around there notified, even though she hadn't spoken to them? They were sent notification?
Mm-hmm.
15, people within the 300 foot. Can I say something? Regards to
He'd need to come up and talk into the mic.
Good afternoon.
Identify yourself.
Yes, my name is Donald Huff. I live at 2355 Choctaw Drive, which is up on 23rd Street, just to the north of the map there, on the corner. And this notice I got, which I got one, but my next door neighbor, I know he did not get one because I asked him yesterday, so it must not got to everybody. And he's usually home most of the time, and I signed for this, but I know everybody wasn't notified on that. And the person that lives just north of this lot, they actually went around and asked us if we opposed it or supported it, and I opposed it, and I signed the form they had. And I don't know if she's in here now. And the biggest reason I'm against it is because of the property value.
Okay, and,
Okay.
let's,
Okay.
take
I
some
just-
turns here. I appreciate you.
So I just want to tell you about the notice.
Right, about the notice, okay. Ma'am, would you, you'll hear other people when your turn is over. I want to explore other things with you.
Okay.
Am I correct legally that according to the zoning regulations, you're supposed to have written approval of the adjoining neighbors? Am I reading that correct? It says written approval of all landowners abutting on the side of their property line or across an alley shall be required. Am I understanding that she should have written approval of all adjoining property owners?
Yes.
You mean as to the length of the exception, right? 1, 2, 3 years, and then the condition still persists, then you have to come back and ask for else that you would like to add to your application? Tell the board about your application.
No, sir, I would just ask that if anybody else, when they do speak, if they could please refrain from telling me that I need to stick my grandfather in a nursing home. 'Cause frankly, that's none of their business. And if they don't like it, that's fine, I can understand that. But I really would appreciate some refraining to tell me what to do with my grandfather. Thank you, sir.
Bill, do you have?
I have no questions, no further questions at this time.
Appreciate it. Is there anyone else present that would like to speak on behalf of the application? Is there anyone else that would like to speak on behalf? Okay, would you come forward, please? Identify yourself for the record, please.
Hi, I'm Lana Garrison. I work for Cornerstone. I am Mr. Gardner's aide, and I just firmly believe he would benefit greatly from this. He needs to feel, dependent for himself. He's done a lot of things in the world, and he's not ready to give up to go to a nursing home, and he's got a wonderful place to stay. I think that he should have that opportunity. You're welcome.
I have no questions.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Anyone else present that would like to speak on behalf of the application? Anyone else present that would like to speak on behalf of the application? Is there anyone present that would like to speak against the application? Would you come forward, sir, and identify yourself again for the record, please?
Yes, sir. My name is Donald Huff. I live at 2355 Choctaw Drive, Choctaw, Oklahoma, 73020. And I live about 2 blocks north of there on the other side of the street, on the west side of the street, on the corner of Choctaw Road and, or rather Choctaw Drive and Southeast 23rd Street, okay? And so it's about, the house, and I am a veteran. I spent 30 years in the military, so I know where they're coming from on that. But I moved in here in '91. It took me 28 years to get stationed at Tinker Air Force Base, and I retired 2 years later. And I bought this home in '91, paid roughly about $75,000 for it. And it's on an acre, a little over an acre lot. All these are a little over an acre. And they're billed as one resident lots, and that's why I bought it. I want to be by myself, away from the other houses, but still close enough I can communicate with them. And the value of my house has went up to between probably $150,000 to $200,000. And I think if we put a trailer in there, that's just starting something going that may increase as we go on in the years. And I'm planning on living there until I pass away, because I moved for 30 years in the military, and I just hate to see that done.
So your objection is primarily to the effect that it would have on your property value, is that correct?
Yes, sir. Especially if it goes on from there. Once you set a precedent, it may go on from there.
You realize that granting an exception in this type of case, the board has the option of saying it's for 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years.
Yes, sir.
And then if the conditions still exist, then the applicant has to come back to the board again for another exception. In other words, it's not in perpetuity. You can't leave it there forever.
Right. But it could continue on and on,
Yeah.
both ways.
Okay. Do you have any questions?
I have no questions.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anyone else present that would like to speak on behalf against the application? Okay, would you come forward, sir? identify yourself for the record.
My name is Benny Powell Jr. I'm at 2560 Choctaw Drive, which is 2 blocks due south of the residence we're speaking of.
Your
I'm sorry.
property shown up there.
Okay.
And I would like to preface by saying, if there's anybody in this room that understands, I understand what you're going through. So, my against has nothing to do with the issues at hand. My against is what my neighbor up the street was saying was the property values.
And you also understand that, if the board approves this application, it would be for a 1 or a
Yes, sir.
2 or a 3-year period of time.
Yes,
And that the applicant would have to come back and reapply at that
Yes, sir.
point in time.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions?
I have no question.
Okay, thank you very much.
I don't know if it matters. I can probably talk a little bit more about the drainage or the little stuff she was referring to behind her house. If you need more clarity on it, I've got some personal knowledge of that, so I don't know if you need it or not.
Okay, I guess can you explain that briefly as
Yes, sir.
to what your...
Yes, sir. There's not a blown up more picture of I'm sorry. Okay, so basically, Choctaw Drive, Choctaw Road, Choctaw Drive, this little patch of asphalt like you see here is drainage from we're in District 2, if I'm not mistaken, to District 1. And we have a floodplain coming in from over here that stops somewhere right about here. So this is drainage. Well, up here on this part of our addition, it's very high. So it's a hill, and that comes through, and it actually comes through right in front of my house. That's a big culvert right there, and that easement goes here and goes,
Oop.
oh, no.
He got it. He got it.
It's okay. I heard him say, don't touch it. I'm trying not to. That easement goes right here, and it goes right behind here. So, and my property is the same exact way. I am more frustrated about this than anything else on my property. That's the intent of all of this back here. So it flows down to here, downhill, and it flows from the south coming north, downhill to here. And basically you can't see it, but this property here and south, you don't have this. So that's the problem. I've personally written certified letters to our previous commissioner, quality, I want to say EPA, I don't think I'm saying that right, but it's with the state level, and have gotten zero responses out of it. So I'm more than frustrated with this whole scenario here. So, total side note there, but a little bit of information for you.
Does that tend to wash and erode or?
Oh, no, it's a slough. It's a slough back there, because it can't drain. I know we're chasing rabbits here, but it can't drain because of this over here. This district of Oklahoma County says they can't do anything about it until this district fixes their stuff so they can come back and fix it. And I actually did get one call from the superintendent. It was about in 2008. It was the superintendent at that time, commissioner, who let me know what he could not do. And it was a very short conversation. So,
Is there a tendency to have standing water?
oh, all the time.
All the time?
This is standing water all the time. I've probably got pictures on my cell phone of standing water in front of my place down here and all back here. That's the reason I wrote the letter.
Choctaw Road floods.
It's standing water all the time. I cannot, nobody on this Choctaw Drive, Choctaw Road, can use do anything with this part of their property, because it's standing water.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Is there anyone else present who would like to speak?
Hi, I'm Debbie Reichert. I live at 14855 Southeast 25th, which I go down that street every day. I am that house right there.
Yeah.
So I come in, it is a hill, and I walk my dogs around those roads. Did you get a letter or something from the neighbor to the north? I think she was getting everyone's signature. Was that turned in yesterday?
We did receive,
I can't recall. Maybe she had signatures from neighbors opposing.
There was one,
No, she was collecting from others. I know she said she didn't know she could make it here. I should have got it from her. It was a long list. You have it? Okay, so he has a list of several neighbors that are opposed for it. And it's just property value and just the site. I don't want to be walking and driving and seeing, you know, a mobile home or, you know, manufactured home next to a home right there. And, you know, yes, other people have buildings in their backyards, but you don't see them when you drive and walk the neighborhood. And I was not notified. She said, did you get a letter? And I did not get a letter, and I'm 3 houses up.
you did not receive.
I did not receive a letter.
Should she have received a,
It's very possible she didn't know that. That's not the way the system works. It doesn't get every...
how far notice do you have to go out?
The person who gathers the information, should have a map. What they do is they draw a circle. And circle. And they try to get the 15 houses in 300 feet. So very well, there are a lot of people left out of the picture. But I think it's the intent of the requirement is to get people notified by word of mouth or whatever. But we have the official list drawn on by the county assessor's office.
Of course, the notice could go out, right, and
Yeah, just look
they
that up.
just never signed.
That's right, approved. Well, I believe I got all the green cards back. See the green cards here, these are the first ones. So I got them all back. The 15 people were notified. That's all we have to have, follow up with 15.
But I'm 3 houses up and drive down it and see it
But
every
it
day.
may-
and what's
may
not
well-
notified.
Cut a lot of people out.
Now-
There's 80-some-odd houses in that area.
Yeah, and there's no intent to get 80 houses, we say.
Here's the letter from the neighbor. She was informing us, hey, did you get this
Okay, here's
letter?
the
And I'm like,
people that-
what letter? So she showed me the letter she signed and got
That's the intent.
and talked about what the letter is about, showed it to me. I made a copy, and then she was asking, if you oppose, would you sign this? Because I'm not going to be able to be there. And she has 11 signatures that she got, and I'm one of those.
Can we see that, please?
That's the intent of
And I know she's driving around trying to get people, that people would work and not at
there's the
home.
list he sent out, the names.
Okay, that is for you to keep showing the parties that she spoke to that are against this.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, just that I'm opposed and I know a lot of neighbors are.
I mean, would you, as I understand the description of the property, that it's apparently pretty heavy wooded.
No,
right?
it is not.
It
It is not. I can see the house. It is not very wooded. It has a few
So
trees.
you can see the,
And I can see, because the other neighbors where that, asphalt is, they took down some trees and all. So there's only a few up front, and you can see where they've put asphalt. I don't know what they were gonna do, and then, you know, woods to the back. But the house, and they have a round drive, and you can see the house and the yard, and it's not covered. Now, the back, I agree, is all covered in woods, but,
back wooded.
so I just wanted to list my objections
In
to
order
this.
to have something in the back, it would require,
They bought the lot, I mean, I know their intent, you know, they didn't know, you know, months later what they need to do, but I would suppose yard work and putting it further back or out of sight or not on at all and have them live in the house with them. I think that house is a pretty big house. Do you have kids that live there too? And, okay. All right, so it's her choice and their decision, but for the neighborhood, I would not like to see that in the yard. Thanks.
okay, thank you very much. Is there anyone else present that would like to speak against the application? Is there anyone else present that would like to speak against the application? Do I have
3 protests.
Couple of things here I haven't looked at yet.
You just got that today, and you'd email these out to me. You got that email. Yeah. Whoop, shoot. Ma'am, would you come back up to the podium, please? Is it feasible to locate the trailer behind your residence somehow? A feasible possibility? I noticed in some of these letters that they suggested everywhere from a mother-in-law or addition to your home and other things.
Sir, I wish we could afford to just add on to our house. I mean, that would be the best ideal for me. When we were looking for a house, I wasn't aware of my grandfather living with me. Things happened, and I'm the only place he can be. And I would love to keep him in the house with me, but it's not making him happy. He feels like a child being told what to do and what he can and can't do, and we blocked off an entire bathroom so that he can have that whole bathroom to himself. We've done everything we can, and this is what we're trying to do, and if this doesn't work, we've noticed several people around us have RVs, and that's what we're going to resort to next.
I don't know if you responded to my question exactly.
I'm sorry,
The feasibility of locating a mobile home behind your residence, how feasible is that?
I don't know. I don't know if we can put, because I'm not aware of, this is the first time we've lived in an area where we've had to have septic and wells and all of that. I don't know if we could put it on top of on our septic tank. Down towards the bottom of our fenced-in area, there's a wooded area back there that we could probably clear out and try to get it in there somehow. I just don't know, without getting a contractor to look at that for us, I'm not educated enough to be able to tell you whether that's doable or not. I mean, I wouldn't mind it, but it's just a matter of getting a contractor to go back there and say whether or not we could do that.
So in other words, that could be an option, is that correct?
Yes, I'm completely open for options.
Well, right from behind the back of your house, is it land pretty well dropped?
It's a slope. Our whole backyard's a slope.
So even if you clear those trees out.
Well, back there it's a lot flatter
But
than
he
going
was
up
talking
in our
it might
backyard.
get into the drainage area too.
Correct.
So you'd be running into that. You'd still have to bring in dirt to build it up so it wouldn't be flooded.
So you'd have to have some professional guidance whether that would really be feasible.
Yes, sir.
Right. All right. Thanks very much.
Mm.
Is there anyone else present would like to speak on for or against the application? Has there been any more, protests or inquiries or anything again?
I have none,
None? Okay.
except the three written
Except
protests.
the three that.
And the people that,
And,
the ones present,
yeah.
had three present, they're not on this
You
list.
see all three,
Yeah.
Right, right.
I got a question. How was you gonna handle water, sewage, and electric to that mobile home? 'Cause that's another factor to the exception.
We would hire contractors, of course, to come out there. Our well is up in the left-hand, well, not left-hand corner, but it's kind of in the middle of that.
Let's see, you'd have.
There's like
you'd
a bare
want
spot up
electricity
there, and that's
water.
where the well is.
You'd have to run sewer line back around to your septic tank. I don't know what you'd run into there.
Have you done any, I'm not sure what I'm trying to say, have you done any planning towards this? Have you, gotten opinions and, cost estimates and things of what you're trying to do? Have you done any of that at all?
No, sir, I'm just, first of all, wanted to get it approved first before I had to go through all that.
So really where you're at is that this just seems like the way to deal with the situation at this time. And you have not gotten any cost estimates or?
We did have one gentleman come out
Mobile homes and stuff like that, have you done that?
to check the price of mobile homes. Yes, sir, his mobile home is currently bought and paid for, so we're waiting to contact them to let them know.
Oh, so
Yes.
already one purchase.
It just got finished about 2 weeks ago. It's a brand new mobile home.
But you, in answer to Mr. Hope's question, you have not done anything as far as how to handle the water and
No, sir, I figured this was our first step, was to first get it approved and then go from here, because, I mean, if we can't get it approved, there's no use having to go through all that, and I work full-time as well as my husband, and between taking care of, working full-time at a school, taking care of my kids and my grandfather, it's a plate full right now.
Yeah, 'cause she'd have to contact plumbers, electricians, get all that hooked up, and you'd be surprised how much that cost would, yeah.
So he's prepared for the cost. He was planning on paying for it.
but you haven't acquired that information yet, is that correct?
No.
Okay. That would be on your to-do list, so to speak.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'd need a question answered from the county. Would they be allowed to hook the sewer out of that into the present sewer system?
that would be, Department of Environmental Quality answer. Normally, they size the septic system based on the number of bedrooms you have in the house.
Yeah,
So if they add an additional bedroom, then the tank has to meet that specification, whatever that is.
yeah.
That's something that is up to the environmental quality folks to, decision on. Same with the sewer. They decide what type of sewer system you can have on the property. And that's a part of getting a building permit, all of those companies did that. If none of that's approved, then the permit's not approved.
Yeah. Well, what I was kind of getting at, if we was to approve this, DEQ might not approve it.
That's true.
Because, if we got a 3-bedroom home there,
Yes, sir.
and you'll be putting a 4th bedroom in there, basically, that's what you're saying DEQ would do.
They may have a requirement of getting a bigger tank.
Yeah. And you probably don't even know what size your septic tank is, do you?
It's on our paperwork that when we purchased the house.
Usually, when you get a building permit to go to DEQ, they assess the size of the house, the number of bedrooms, and they want to take that out, it'll be 5 seconds, and how long the lateral lines have to be, and
Yeah, 'cause they may have to extend lateral lines and Wasey Dawkins going down in that floodplain there.
of our approval process. Yes, be a DEQ.
It's almost like we got the cart before the horse here on this deal.
Can I say something about the history of this lot?
Beg your pardon?
Can I tell you a little bit about the history of this lot?
Sure. You come forward, please.
Okay. Donald Huff, and like I said, I've been living there since '91. I jogged by there many times over these years, okay? And what they've done over here, brought in some dirt to fill that in. Just really set really low there
Before they built the house.
But not professionally. It was done by professionals. And then, and I don't know when they bought the house. I don't know how many people lived in there in the last 10 years. There's a lot of people come and go and see. I don't know if it's renters or what. But, just set real low, they filled that in with dirt, leveled it out, and then came in and put some blacktop on it. Not done by a professional. So I don't know if that would even hold a trailer. I have no idea.
Do you have any water problems, ma'am, inside your home or any water issues of any kind?
Water issues inside of our home? No, sir.
None that you know of?
Yeah, no, none that we're aware of currently.
I'm not
We just bought it in July, so who knows?
I just curious. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any, input from engineering or?
Well, the size of this manufactured home they're talking about is just right around 400 square feet, which is pretty small. It's a lot smaller than you usually deal with in these cases. And I'm kind of surprised that they couldn't just build on to the existing house at an equal cost, especially when you consider the utilities. And she's kind of answered that they really haven't done enough maybe homework on that option with enough contractors to say what an add-on might cost. That would require a building permit, but it would not require a public hearing. If you do the manufactured home, which is being proposed, then you got to have the public hearing approval or not. You're still going to have to deal with those utilities, as has been pointed out. I think it's just something they need to consider.
Anything from legal issues? Nothing from legal.
I have no more questions, and I'm gonna make a motion we deny the special exception SE 2017-01.
Okay, Mr. Hoag has moved that the application be denied. And, I will second that motion. But I'd like to add, I think you need to explore this better, to see about your options. Maybe that clarifies where you need to go with this. Like Mr. Hoag said, kinda got a little bit of putting the cart before the horse. And there's some questions that we don't have the answers to. And I understand your situation. I've been there. And I feel for you. And, but I believe that under the circumstances, the, protest that, we've received, probably the best thing to do. So, as I said, I will second that motion. Mr. Gammon, will you call the roll, please?
Mr. Hoag,
Yes.
Mr. Query,
Yes. Okay,
Item is
the
denied.
application stands denied. Next item on the agenda is new business. Is there any new business? Is there any new business?
I have none.
Okay. I would move that the board adjourn.
Second the motion?
Okay. moved and seconded, the board adjourned. Kevin, will you call the roll, please?
Mr. Hope,
Yes?
Mr. Query,